My name is Michael Stephen Levinson. I'm a candidate for president, an independent Republican family, an independent write-in candidate for president of the United States, and this is my first campaign speech. What distinguishes my campaign from everyone else's campaign is that I created a work of art, a television scripture, that is all hand-lettered in double columns. Here you can see all of these pages. Like old blind Homer, I can recite all of this from cover to cover. So my plan as President of the United States is to set the stage for world peace, beginning with a peaceful night, because this was lettered and designed to perform on worldwide television for all the world's peoples to participate in all at once, staying home, taking one night off for a change. That's how we're going to establish world peace, beginning with a peaceful night. The only issue is my spoken poem for all mankind written down, fun to listen to. So let's take a little opportunity here, as long as it's my dime, and I want to share some of my poem with you. One day, God's son was standing around, got punched in the side, cried, "Wah!" Turned round, she said, "Hiya, my name is Ka. Say what is yours?" He say id, ad man. She said, even. God said, ad man, Ka's cut from your rib. She's your mate to kid, but stay off her head. Don't jump on the little kid's head. Ad man obeyed cause God was, is, dad. God was his dad. Even stood spread as an-eyed girl and gave ad man a love L.I. kiss. Ad man and even were love L.E. kids. They played ing all day long, wherever they could find. They played on the edge of a river in Edom. Ad said, "Cat, let's go in the water." Cat said, "All right, but not overhead." The river in Garden was shallow and fresh. There they went pish, and they didn't splash. Adman and even love eld each other. When God turned over night, God said, "Sleep tight," and Adman and even slept side by side. One day, old Puff Adder, slimiest snake, slithered right in the garden of God. Puff hissed, "Hello, Adman, I am your friend." Puff even acted like Adman's friend. He wrapped around E, then around Even's leg. One day Adman said, "I think I will," first think, "I think I will, ill as in will. I think I will take a walk and see what's shaking round Garden." Even said, "No, don't go, alone and I am uneven." But he went. Puff slithered by and said, "Hello, Eve, give me your eye," and led Kathleen on the tree of no ledge. Puff rapped on a branch, this up here, this is the tree of no ledge. Puff rapped on a branch and said, "Even all the food in Garden is for eating." That rang a bell. She played ing all day long. Kath plucked the green app, L off of tree, took a bite and spit it out. It was bitter. She said, "Puff, you give me a bum steer." He said, "Don't tread on me." She stepped on him, and he bit her. Just then, Adman returned, loaded with goods, loaded with goods, food of the ground, fallen of trees. Ad spotted Ka's bite, dropped the fruit, and sucked at her spot. Puff at her, the snake. That's where he bit her. Ka told Ad about app. Adman gulped and forgot to spit. It was poison. Adman slapped even. "What did you do that for? That's the tree of no ledge. It belongs to God." Even spit on Adman. Good to get even. Then slap, slap, so more blood came from her maidenhead, and it hurt. And then it felt so good. Short lay ad man Finn, isht mish in. Kathy cried, Mike Hell, you just a man. Ad man said, I am not woman. I am bad man. I am ad man. I am bad man. Even felt bed. Erin said, ad, let's do it again. Ad man said, nope, not a chance. I'm out of breath. God's gone on a trip. That's 3. I gotta rest. What do we call it? Even said, I name. Ad man said, my game. Even said, my turn to name. Ad man said, love. Even said, bleep. Ad man said, shh. They both went pishing and slept. When they woke, Ad man spotted blood all over his staff. And even blood caked in Even's fleece and said, this is wrong. Blood belongs inside. We're in trouble. Even said, let's get leaves and rub it off. Ad man said, God is back in garden. Even said, let's play hiding on God. And they jumped in a brush. God said, I didn't tell you to do that. You're an X. Pair I meant. 3's a crowd. Now out of my house. And a great wind blew the garden down. They hit the road and covered themselves because it was cold. Ad man turned around and gave God the finger. He who would bathe his head with vine, agar has none. And the wind blew harder. Ad man turned round again and said, God, you are base turd, the sweeper. You have no father, but you are my father. You blew your breath in me, and I love you. And God was merciful. If all he said, go and pop, you laid the earth, live off the land, and stay on the ground. When you grow old, your soul, the gray ghost, will go to my heaven, the clouds. That's the story of Ad Man and Even. Now let's have a look here real fast. See here, it starts over here. One day, God's son was standing around, got punched in the side, cried, wah! Turned round, she said, hiya, my name is Ka. See, was standing around. It's everyone's story. Stan's story, Don's story, Bill's story, Evelyn's story, because everyone was there, because we are all created from the same creator. So it's all phonic. All the words are spelled the way they sound. And every line has a law, a riddle, or a truth buried in. 112 double-column pages. All the stories of Earth retold. And I'm going to do that from dusk until dawn for all the world's peoples as President of the United States. As a private citizen, not a chance. Here, I'll show you one more page. It's a prophetic work. There's a lot of stuff. I'm going to show you just a little part of another page here. All this carbon monoxide in the air. Brother, you ain't got athlete's feet. You roasting. Polar ice cap's gonna melt and you gonna get a steam bath. So you can see how it's all spelled. So this is my book. This is copyright 1971. There's a dozen world events and prophetic stuff all written down. This is so you understand what distinguishes me from all the other candidates. I have a program for world peace. Now, let's, the real issues for everybody else are jobs, the healthcare deal, mortgages. These are issues that are facing us. People are losing their houses all over. There isn't any work. And this healthcare, it's been in effect for 2 years already and nobody's covered yet. Let's talk mortgages for a moment. My program, we're going to produce a and this is a new and innovative financial instrument, the United States Mortgage Savings Bond. And with the United States, 2%, the United States Mortgage Savings Bond. And with the Mortgage Savings Bond, we are going to purchase every mortgage in the whole country. The bank-held mortgages and the bank mortgages that they're holding and servicing for other corporations, the Fannie Mae, all of it. We're purchasing everything at a discount, of course. 85 cents on the dollar for the good, so people who've always paid their bills are getting a 15% reduction in their mortgage. Probably 65 or 70 cents on the bad. What are the bad? The bad are mortgages that are underwater. People paid 150. They were told, oh, everything's going up. Well, the bubble burst, and their house is really only worth 100. So I have a way where we're going to fix all of that. So we're going to pay 65 or 70 cents on the dollar for the bad, the upside down houses. And for the houses in foreclosure, it's 49 cents on the dollar, and the banks are going to take it. So the banks are going to be bond rich because they're going to have all of these houses taken off their hands. You'll go to the branch with your mortgage paid to the order of you in the bank, with your mortgage savings bond, and you'll wait for the deed. Then you'll sit down in the bank or at home, and you're going to do a do-it-yourself remortgage, and you're going to fill out the form, and you're going to go for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, fixed rate from 4 to 7%, and then you're going to take the deed and you're going to send a copy or send the deed to Uncle Sam, and you're going to hit the send button so that your new mortgage is good, that you just filled out in the branch with the bank's help or at home, that goes also to Uncle Sam. Then we're going to take all the mortgages and redistribute them for servicing at a quarter point to all the bank branches in the country where in the same zip codes where the houses are. Otherwise, the branches would all close. They'd be out of business. Then we're going to let the bank branches hold 12 payments, which they can use, and we'll loan it to them at what we're paying for it, the 2%. They can use that to loan to small businesses on Main Street that need capital. The pizzeria needs to get a second oven to double their business. Everybody loves their pizza. So the bank branch can loan them the money. So this helps create jobs on Main Street. This is where all the jobs are created. So we let the bank branches hold 12 payments. If the bank branch doesn't want to participate, the credit unions also are going to participate. All these branches could be replaced by credit unions. Okay. The interest on your mortgage, after it's redone, that goes to Uncle Sam every month. So on 60 million mortgages, the 2% mortgage, United States mortgage savings bond, deduct that, the 2%, from your mortgage, which could be, say, average 5%. There's 3% spread there. The 3% spread on 60 million mortgages is going to go to pay down the national debt. So we all benefit. What I'm doing is something it's worth a Nobel Prize as far as I'm concerned, because I'm taking private debt and I'm applying it to public debt in such a way where you're still private, it's still your house. All right, somebody's in a house, they're upside down. That's brilliant. That's a good idea. We use that interest to pay off the national debt. This is way better than anything that they're doing on Wall Street. Way, way better, because we all benefit. Depending on what time of the day or night my presentation here is playing, there might be a lot of people who are renters. Well, you're gonna benefit from this because the rent is not gonna go up. So that's, in a nutshell, my mortgage program. I like it. It's good. It settles everything. There won't be any foreclosures. You lost your job, your wife isn't working, you're in trouble, you're behind the 8 ball. Pay the interest. And when you get back on your feet, then pick up the principal again. So nobody's house is going to be foreclosed. Okay, that's the mortgage program. Is it worth to support my campaign for such a program? 60 million mortgage holders are going to vote for me, and their wives, their spouses, and kids also, for that one program. Let's talk jobs. My program is not to say, oh, I could create jobs. I'm creating jobs right now. We want to build 10,000 hybrid clipper ships to carry all of our cargoes, whatever we sell, and we sell everything. You go in the store, you see toothpaste on the shelf, we export everything. So we're going to sell everything that we export, and all of our imports can go on our ships, hybrid clipper ships. The sails are going to be solar voltaic, so they make electricity. They'll have screws so they can move around the harbor. They'll have, the electricity will run semi-automatic winches to raise and lower the sails. Like the old Chinese junks, the masts will be rotational, so we catch every gust. So the clipper ships, the crew will be college students paying tuition to be there, and because there's electricity, they'll have access to the internet, and they'll get their courses live, and they'll see the world. And that's a good idea. So then the ships are powered by the sun and driven by the wind. 10,000 ships. So Harvard would have a fleet of 40, freeing up 1,600 seats ashore. So wherever there's water and people need work, shipyards can spring up, all up and down the Great Lakes, the East Coast, the Gulf Coast, the West Coast, shipyards connected to universities. Apple has $90-some-odd billion. They're going to give some of the money back to the stockholders. They have plants overseas like other companies. Fine. You export the stuff or you import the stuff into America. That's great. Let it come on our ships. That's what we're saying to all these companies. So the money to build 10,000 clipper ships is out there. It's not a government program. It's a leadership idea. So that from the bully pulpit as president, I'm going to keep pushing the idea of the clipper ships. I talked about the mortgages. All right, say you're in a house and you make some improvements. Solar voltaic shingles for the roof, a residential wind turbine, a passive unit to make steaming hot water, and your electric bill would go from $300 to $1.25 or $100. Might even break even altogether. So what we want to do is have the power companies underwrite the loans for repairing and improving and making every house in the country into an energy incubator. So a state with a lot of sun can say to some company, come build a factory here. We'll give you a real break in the electricity for the first 5 years because there will be an abundance. So while the kids are in school and you're away at work, the house is making energy. Why aren't we doing this? Because the money and power people, they own the power companies, and they want to keep selling us the power to make more money. So every city, every town has got regulations against residential wind turbines. But we can have one attached to every house. That's another 1 or 2 or 3 million jobs that will go on for the next 10 or 15 years. The shipbuilding, look at all the stuff that's involved in building a ship. Those are all jobs. So that's my jobs program. Now let's talk healthcare. What we want is what all the other countries have. National healthcare. Everyone is covered. Right now, there's 50 million people that don't have coverage. And it's going to the United States Supreme Court, the idea that you can't be forced to carry health insurance. They call it the Affordable Health Care Act or something. It's the Affordable Insurance Company Act is what it is. And there's 10,000 regulators writing rules and regulations. So under the program these people passed, the office holders, you'll have a problem with the insurance company, and then you'll call up the customer service or something, and it'll be a regulatory minefield. And then you'll find out you won't have any coverage. So here's my program. This is leadership. This is not an act of Congress. I want a one-line change in the tax code. That's all we need. The President of the United States from the bully pulpit. What I'm going to do upon election is gather the CEOs of Walmart, Kmart, Target, all the major supermarkets in the whole country, Mickey D's, Burger King, Taco Bell, all of the fast food places, and all the fast food restaurants, in every supermarket in America, Walmart, Target, and Kmart, for every item that goes over the counter, 2 cents, voluntary. You don't have to do it. Burger, fries, and a drink, 6 cents. The cashier will ask you, is it okay for the gratuity? Which is a tip for the help. So an extra 2 cents on everything in the supermarket. 40 items in the supermarket is like $150. So what's another 80 cents? So here's the idea. At the end of the week, the companies divide the hours worked by all the lower echelon people and divided by all the pennies that came in, and everybody gets $1 an hour minimum that goes into a medical assurance savings account with their name on it. It goes with them when they leave. So at the end of a year, someone healthy has $2,000 in their medical assurance account, and the overage from the $1 an hour goes into their pay envelope, so they have a pay raise. So that's good for all the lower echelon people in all these places, fast food, the burger flippers, the cashiers, everybody benefits. So now at the end of the year, someone has an extra $2,000 in their medical assurance account. So the kid comes home and mom says that she's not feeling well, didn't make any supper. What's wrong? I don't feel good. Well, we're going to the doctor tomorrow because I've got the medical assurance card. So now you go to the doctor, you got a problem, and the doctor tells you what it's going to cost. He swipes the card and does what he's got, what you need, and the insurance company is out of the mix. Out of that $1 an hour going into a medical assurance account, $5 a week goes into the catastrophic illness account. The way that works is if you get sick and you need a liver transplant, the money's there not from your medical assurance account, but from the catastrophic illness pool. $5 a week times 12 million people is $60 million a week. In 6 weeks, there's $360 million in the catastrophic pool. So everybody who's got a pre-existing can join the pool. Everybody who needs a heart transplant or a liver transplant, the money is there. And it's done. And everybody in the whole country is practically covered. We want to tell doctors that they can have they can do $50,000 worth of charity and take it off the top of their income tax. This is my one-line change in the tax code. And at the bottom, after all their deductions, take another $25,000 off. So for the doctors, the goal is freedom of income tax. So the doctors will have signs outside, no insurance, I'm here. So the hospitals where they have the emergency room won't be doctors' offices anymore because the doctors will be there to do the work. So there's 50 million people covered. Now, so there's medical. I'm talking fast, I know I have to. I only have this much time. And I gave you jobs, 3 or 4 million jobs that I'm going to make happen. And this healthcare, the jobs. And what was the third one? It's like I'm like Governor Perry, you know. It's like he couldn't remember what he said. So let's see, my jobs program, my healthcare program, my mortgage program. How can I forget that? Far out. So now here's the issue. I ask you to flip me a $20 bill for my campaign. I don't want any money from anyone, but I need to qualify for matching funds, and I have to raise $5,000 in 20 states, so I need to play this program in many other television stations all over the whole country. So I ask you to flip me a 20. When the matching funds comes, I'm going to flip it back to you. Then you can send it back to me again, and then I'm going to send it back to you when the second round of matching funds comes. So I ask you to flip me a 20 so that I can carry on my campaign, so that I can qualify for matching funds, so I can make a nationwide primetime speech. That's what I need to do, so then everyone will vote for me, and then we will have world peace. Now, how am I going to raise the real money, which is billions of dollars? I need $1 billion. What they do is they sell ambassadorships and stuff like that. I'm not doing that. I'm selling the United States Treasury. Here's how it's going to work. 1 4-year term is 208 weeks. So somebody fronts my campaign, $2 million in cash with an additional $3 million to come within the month, and they get to be the treasurer for a week. Monday morning, they're sworn in. What? The spouse, the kids, the lights, they're on TV. Tuesday, it's the first cabinet meeting. Wednesday, their signature printed on the 20s, the 50s, and the 100s, and the right to purchase as many sheets as they want, uncut sheets. Thursday, another cabinet meeting. Friday, they come to Camp David, and they're welcome to come back at any time. Monday, it's a new treasurer. In Miami alone, there's at least 200 people with $5 million available that could be the treasurer for the week and have their name on the money. That's why. Who's going to really be the treasurer? The deputy treasurer will be the treasurer. And that's my choice as Elizabeth Warren. And then after a couple years as treasurer, she will be the next Federal Reserve chairman. That's my plan. To set up the program for world peace, Thomas L. Friedman of the New York Times, the foreign correspondent, opposite editorial writer, he's my choice to be Secretary of State without portfolio to help me arrange the worldwide program with all the other countries. So that's how I'm going to raise $1 billion from going after billionaires, people, very rich people that could put up the money, just like these super PACs that all these other candidates do. But I only want them to loan me the money. I don't want to spend any of that money. I won't have to. I start to raise $200 or $300 million from the rich, Obama will fold. I will get the nomination of both parties, and then we'll be on the road to world peace. Once we have world peace, then we can begin to clean the planet. For example, my clipper ship program, there's a place in the Pacific Ocean the size of Texas, and the whole seatop is covered with garbage, plastic, all kinds of stuff. Nothing can come to the surface there because of the garbage. But our clipper ships could go there and clean the seatop because they could just hang out and study and go down in longboats and clean the whole seatop, the size of Texas, garbage, plastic. And we could clean all of that, and the other countries will pay for the cleanup job. So that's something that needs to be done. We have to clean the planet. And if we don't clean the planet, we're in deep trouble. So on the screen, it should say michaellevinson.com. You can go to the website, and you can use a donation thing on the website, and you can front me a 20. Those who front me a 20, you get on my list to come to the White House for lunch. That's part of my deal. And the way that works is I'm going to feed 200 people every day for lunch. Because no matter how tough the world situation is, you got to eat lunch. So you'll come. There'll be 200 people in the East Wing. You throw $5 in the urn because it's lunch on me. And I'll walk around and I'll talk to everybody, and you'll tell me what's going on. Then after lunch, you could audition to be as a guest on Live at the White House. Because in my spare time, I'm going to have a TV show live at the White House, an after-dinner United Family talk show where I talk to you every night and tell you what's going on and have all the stars with their latest movie. And you could audition to perform. And if you're really a terrible performer, you'll get the gong. And if you're good, people will know it. And that's very worthwhile. So you front me a 20, and you go on my list to come to the White House for lunch and stay and be the audience for my after-dinner United Family talk show. So you see my shirt. This is from 1980. I was a candidate for president, a writing candidate, and I made this really good shirt. And this is one of the few copies I have left. This is from 1980. It's 30-some-odd years old. I decided when I was 4 years old I was going to be the president of the United States, and that's why it was okay for me to doodle in the Abraham Lincoln book. So here I am. This is my time, and I'm ready to serve. And that's why I've made this program for you. Flip me a 20, and this is going to play all over the country. Thank you so much for your time. Michael Stephen Levinson. That's me. michaelslevinson.com. The address where you can mail a check for 20 is right on the screen, should be on the screen, so that you can mail me a check. And then this money goes for more programs. It doesn't go for advisors, for planes, for any of that stuff. I keep my own counsel. My chief of staff is the one person who will be my chief of staff, is the one person that I discuss things with. Other than that, I don't need advisors. I don't need people to tell me what to say. I don't need a teleprompter. Mine is a giant sense of words, world orders, and word hors d'oeuvres. A new word order. In fact, there's a book. You can order it on the website. New World Hors d'oeuvres. The recipe for world peace. The recipe for world peace is standing right in front of you. See the back cover here? Can you see that? You see that drawing? That's a drawing by the Pulitzer Prize-winning cartoonist at the Washington Post, Tom Towles. His name goes out of my head. I knew him when he was a teenager. This is a drawing of me that Tommy Towles did back in 1971. So I've told you a lot. I gave you a jobs program. I gave you a health care program. All this stuff requires presidential leadership. Nothing else, just leadership. It's not if. If is a riff. I want a good life. Nod. A good if. Thank you so much. You've been a great audience. See you real soon.